uploaded my leaked video on social media.
I don't know anything about this leaked video on social media. It's a setup to destroy me.
We can't allow her marry the billionaire and leave us alone. Yes, we have to set her up and destroy her reputation.
We are recording everything and we will upload them on social media.
No, my child. I'm here to help you revenge those who hurt you.
In one quiet but lively town in Nigeria, where the roads were always busy with traders and the evenings echoed with laughter and gossip, there lived 5 young women who were known everywhere as the beautiful friends. People admired them not only because of their looks, but because of the way they moved together, talked together, and supported one another. At least, that was what it looked like from the outside. Their names were Amoka, Ronk, Sod, Zainab, and Ifinanya. They met years ago, back when life was still simple and dreams were still innocent. Since then, they had grown inseparable. They attended parties together, shared clothes and secrets, laughed loudly in public, and defended one another whenever anyone tried to speak badly about any of them. To outsiders, they looked like the perfect definition of sisterhood. But behind closed doors, behind forced smiles and loud laughter, something dark was slowly growing. Among the 5 ladies, Ifinanya stood out. It was not just her beauty, although her beauty alone could stop people in their tracks. She had smooth glowing skin, bright expressive eyes, and a calm elegance that made people feel drawn to her instantly. When she walked into a room, heads turned without effort. When she spoke, people listened. But more than that, Ifinanya was lucky. From a very young age, good things always seemed to find her without stress. When others struggled, doors opened easily for her. When others prayed and waited, her answers came quickly. Opportunities followed her like a shadow. If there was a job opening, she got shortlisted. If there was a promotion, her name appeared. If there was help needed, people volunteered gladly. If there was favor, it rested on her naturally. Even strangers were kind to her. Shop owners gave her discounts without asking. Elders blessed her openly. Children loved her. Wherever she went, she carried a light that made life feel easier. And the most painful part for her friends was this: she was kind, humble, and never proud. Ifinanya never boasted about her success. She never insulted anyone. She never reminded her friends of her good fortune. Instead, she shared whatever she had. When she got money, she treated them. When she traveled, she bought them gifts. When she succeeded, she celebrated with them, not over them. Yet, jealousy does not need pride to grow. At first, it was small. Whenever Ifinanya was praised, the smiles of the others became tighter. Whenever her name was mentioned, silence followed. When she was not around, the conversations changed. "She is lucky, sure," one of them would say casually. "Too lucky," another would reply, forcing a laugh. "Some people don't even struggle in this life," someone would add. Slowly, admiration turned into comparison. Comparison turned into resentment. Resentment turned into quiet hatred. They began to notice every good thing that happened to her and count it like an offense. If Ifinanya wore something beautiful, it became a topic. If she received a call that made her smile, they wondered who it was. If she succeeded where they failed, they questioned why her, always her. Yet, whenever she was around, they acted like nothing was wrong. They hugged her. They praised her. They congratulated her. They prayed for her loudly. But once she left the room, their real hearts came out. "She thinks she is better than us," one would say. "She acts innocent, but she enjoys the attention," another added. "God cannot be blessing only one person like this," someone hissed. Day after day, the bitterness grew stronger. Then the big news came. One afternoon, Ifinanya gathered her friends, her face glowing brighter than usual. Her voice shook slightly, not from fear, but from joy. She told them that a very rich, handsome billionaire she had met through business connections had proposed to her. Not just proposed. He wanted to marry her, take her abroad, and start a new life with her. The man was powerful, respected, well-known, and deeply in love with her. He admired her simplicity, her intelligence, and her good heart. He had promised her comfort, security, and a future far beyond what she had imagined. As Ifinanya spoke, her eyes sparkled with hope. Her hands trembled with excitement. Her heart overflowed with gratitude. She expected screams, hugs, and celebration. And indeed, that was what they showed her. They shouted in excitement. They clapped their hands. They hugged her tightly. They congratulated her with wide smiles. God has done it for you. You deserve it. We are so happy for you. But behind those smiles, their hearts were burning. This news was too much. She was already beautiful, already lucky, already favored. Now she was going to marry a billionaire and leave the country. To them, it felt like the final insult. That night, after Ifunanya had left, the remaining 4 friends stayed back. The room felt different. Quiet, heavy, tense. No laughter, no jokes. One of them finally broke the silence. So it has reached this level now, she said bitterly. Another folded her arms. She wants to leave us behind completely. After all of us started together, one scoffed. Their voices grew louder. Their words sharper. Their envy spilled freely, without shame. This marriage must not happen, one of them said firmly.
We can't allow her marry the billionaire and leave us alone. Yes, we have to set her up and destroy her reputation.
The others looked at her. They nodded. They began to talk in low voices, leaning closer to one another, their faces hardened with jealousy and anger. They agreed that Ifunanya's happiness was too much. They agreed that she must be stopped. They agreed that her reputation must be destroyed. Whatever it would take, however it must be done. They would not allow her to marry the billionaire. And so, that night, the jealous friends met and began to plan. That night, after their secret meeting, the 4 jealous friends moved quickly with their plan. They pretended as if nothing had happened. The next morning, they called Ifunanya with sweet voices and fake excitement. My dear, we must celebrate you, Amoka said cheerfully on the phone. This kind of blessing does not come every day, Ronk added. Let's go out tonight, just us girls, Sot said. Before you leave the country, we need one last night together, Zainab concluded. Ifunanya hesitated at first. Something in her spirit felt uneasy, but she ignored it. These were her closest friends, women she trusted with her life. She smiled and agreed. That evening, they dressed beautifully and went to a popular nightclub in town. The music was loud, the lights were colorful, and people were dancing everywhere. To Ifunanya, it felt like a harmless celebration. They ordered drinks and sat close together, laughing loudly and taking pictures. What Ifunanya did not know was that this celebration was a trap. While she was distracted, one of the friends quietly poured a strange substance into her wine. Their hands shook slightly, not from fear, but from excitement. They watched closely as the drink mixed perfectly, leaving no sign of danger. Moments later, they handed the glass to her. To your happiness, they cheered. Ifunanya smiled and drank. At first, nothing happened. They continued dancing and laughing, but slowly, her body began to feel strange. Her head became heavy, her vision blurred. The loud music sounded distant. She tried to speak, but her words felt weak. She stood up to get some air, but her legs could barely support her. Her friends rushed to her side, not to help, but to pretend. She has drunk too much, one of them said loudly. We should take her somewhere to rest, another added. People around believed them. After all, they were her friends. They carried her out of the club and put her into a waiting car. Unknown to Ifunanya, everything had already been arranged. The jealous friends had earlier paid some men and planned every step carefully. They took her to a private place, far from noise and help. Her mind was not clear. Her body did not respond. She was not in control of herself. While terrible things happened to her, things she was not aware of, things she never agreed to, the friends stood aside and recorded everything. Not to help, not to stop it, but to destroy her. Their faces were cold. Their hearts were empty of pity. This was what jealousy had turned them into. When it was over, they left her there helpless and broken, then returned home quietly like nothing had happened. That same night, they uploaded the videos on social media. By morning, the damage was done. The video spread like wildfire, on WhatsApp, on Facebook, on blogs. Everywhere. People shared it without mercy. Some mocked her, some insulted her, some judged her without knowing the truth. The town woke up to Ifunanya's name trending, for the wrong reason. The next morning, Ifunanya woke up with a heavy headache and deep confusion. Her body felt weak. Her memory was broken. She reached for her phone, hoping to call one of her friends. But what she saw froze her heart. Messages, notifications, missed calls. Her hands trembled as she opened one message, then another. Then she saw the video. Her own face, her own body. A moment she could not remember. She screamed.
What? Who uploaded my leaked video on social media?
She dropped the phone and held her head, shaking violently. Her heart raced. Her breath became short. She could not understand how her life had turned into a nightmare overnight. She tried calling her friends. No answer. She called again. Phones switched off. They were nowhere to be found. As she sat on the floor crying, her phone rang again. It was the billionaire. Her heart leaped with hope. Maybe he would understand. She answered the call with a shaking voice, but his voice was cold. He told her that he had seen the video. He said people were talking. He said his reputation was at stake. Then he said the words that broke her completely. Because of what has happened, I can't marry you again.
I don't know anything about this leaked video on social media. It's a setup to destroy me.
The call ended. Ifeanyi dropped the phone slowly. Her world collapsed. The future she dreamed of vanished. The love she trusted disappeared. The friends she believed in betrayed her. She cried. She cried until her chest hurt. She cried until her eyes burned. She cried until there were no tears left, but no one came to console her. Ifeanyi's world had completely fallen apart. Her name had become a mockery. Her dreams had been crushed. Her friends had vanished like smoke. Day after day, she stayed indoors, curtains closed, phone switched off. The same walls that once felt like home now felt like a prison. Everywhere she turned, memories attacked her. Shame wrapped around her heart like chains. She cried herself to sleep. She woke up crying. No one came. No one defended her. No one believed her silence. In her desperation, a dark thought began to grow. Maybe the world is better without me. One evening, when the pain became too heavy to carry, Ifeanyi made a decision she believed would end everything. She covered herself, left her house quietly, and walked far away from the town, into a deep, lonely forest where human voices could not reach. The forest was silent. The trees stood tall like ancient witnesses. The wind whispered through dry leaves as if warning her, but she did not listen. With tears streaming down her face, she tied a rope to a strong tree branch. Her hands trembled as she prepared to end her life. Just as she stepped forward, the ground shook. From nowhere, a giant snake appeared. Its body was long and thick, its eyes glowing softly in the darkness. It moved swiftly and wrapped itself around the tree, pulling the rope down and breaking it instantly. Ifeanyi screamed and fell backward, frozen in fear. She thought death had come in another form. But instead of attacking her, the snake stood still. Slowly, before her very eyes, the snake began to change. Its huge body shrunk. Its scales faded. And in its place stood an old woman, bent with age, holding a wooden staff, her eyes deep with wisdom and power. Ifeanyi trembled violently. "Do not be afraid, my child," the old woman said gently. Her voice was calm, warm, and strangely comforting. Ifeanyi broke down completely. She knelt on the forest ground and poured out her heart. She told the old woman everything: her friends, the betrayal, the shame, the broken engagement, the loneliness, the pain, and the reason she wanted to die. The old woman listened quietly without interrupting. When Ifeanyi finished, the old woman sighed deeply. "You must not hurt yourself," she said firmly. "Your life is precious. What was done to you was evil, but evil must be judged." She promised Ifeanyi something powerful. "I will help you recover."
Don't worry, my child. I will destroy all those who try to destroy you. Don't harm yourself. Go home.
"And I will seek justice for you." The old woman told her to go home, clean herself, eat, and rest. She assured her that the truth would come out and that her enemies would not escape the consequences of their actions. As Ifeanyi walked away, the old woman stepped back into the shadows, and once again turned into a giant snake. That night, the hunt began. One by one, the jealous friends started experiencing terror they could not explain. Every night, the snake appeared in different ways. To one friend, it appeared in her dreams, chasing her endlessly until she woke up screaming. To another, it crawled around her bed, hissing loudly, disappearing whenever she called for help. One saw the snake in mirrors, in water, even in her food. Another felt invisible pressure squeezing her chest whenever she tried to sleep. They could not eat. They could not sleep. They could not rest. The snake followed them everywhere. Sometimes it appeared as a shadow. Sometimes as a voice calling their names. Sometimes as a heavy presence that made them collapse in fear. Their guilt became unbearable. Their health began to fail. Their minds became unstable. They screamed in public. They ran mad in the streets. Finally, unable to bear the torment anymore, the four friends ran to Ifunanya's house, trembling, sweating, and crying uncontrollably. They fell at her feet. They confessed everything. They told her how they planned the evil night. How they betrayed her trust. How they destroyed her reputation. They begged for forgiveness. Not only that, they were forced by fear to confess publicly to the rich man as well. They told him the truth about the substance, the setup, and the lies. As soon as the confession ended, the friends screamed loudly, collapsed to the ground, and died instantly. Justice had spoken. Days later, the truth spread everywhere. The videos were removed. The lies were exposed. The town went silent in shame. The rich man returned. He begged Ifunanya for forgiveness. He told her he now knew the truth and regretted abandoning her without hearing her side. This time, he stood by her publicly, defended her honor, and restored her dignity. Not long after, they got married in a beautiful ceremony. It was a wedding filled with joy, peace, and celebration. People who once mocked her now congratulated her. Her smile returned. Her life was restored. She traveled abroad with her husband. She lived in comfort, love, and respect. She used her story to help others who were broken. And Ifunanya, the lucky lady, lived happily ever after. Life has a way of fighting battles we cannot fight ourselves. When humans fail to speak the truth, the universe finds a way to speak. Jealousy planted destruction, but justice harvested it. The innocent was restored. The wicked faced the consequences of their actions. Remember this. Not everyone who walks with you is happy for you. Not every celebration is genuine. Choose your friends wisely. Guard your joy carefully. And never allow bitterness to turn your heart into a weapon against others. Because in the end, truth will always rise, and evil will always fall. The end. Tales by NB.